Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Upfront Mind, Body, Soul podcast, where I am your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And listen, tonight, if you want to know anything about the realms of reflexology, some wellness, what can happen, I have my special guest here, Miss Lakisha McGaneyOsei. Yes, did I get it right?
You did. You said it perfectly. I'm so excited to be here with you, Michelle.
Yes, thank you again for saying yes. And again, I appreciate you for taking this time to come on tonight and just share with the audience, because you got a lot of hidden jewels there. So I just like to say that I'm glad that I met you a couple weeks ago. So it's been life-changing for me.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to meet you as well. I knew when we met and we spoke briefly and connected that we would definitely be doing some things together. And here we are. We have a lot in store for everybody.
Yes. So, Lakisha, can you tell the audience just how you got started in this realm of, let me say, because a lot of people, especially our folks, don't believe in traditional holistic health premises and things in that general that can really are beneficial to us. It's like this stigma behind it. So can you go into how you got into getting involved in the holistic portion of it?
Well, I'll start to give you a little background. As what I call lovingly a military brat, I grew up moving around a lot. So we lived in different states, countries, went to high school in Germany. So we were constantly on the move. So one thing that living and growing up in that kind of lifestyle is that you are open to more things than sometimes the typical person. So I've always been a person who liked using my hands even when I was younger. And so I was that kid that if my mom came home hurting from work, I was the one like, I'm gonna massage your back, and I enjoyed that the use of my hand provided healing and some comfort to her particularly. And so, of course, as later on in life, as I went into college and at the University of Minnesota, go first, I and did kinesiology again, everything focused on the body. I grew up an athlete. I played basketball, softball. And so being athletic and moving has always been a part of me. And so I took that through college. So once I graduated from college, I thought I would go right into massage therapy school, actually, and become a massage therapist along with my degree. And so then life happens. I didn't end up doing that. I found out me and my ex-husband at the time, we found out we were pregnant. We got married, 3 children later, 23 years later, I finally get to come back to my passion of using my hands to heal. And so this journey has been kind of a rebirth of a passion that I had over, 30 years ago. But now I found it in not massage therapy, but I found it in reflexology. And what sparked that was actually in 2018. And now we talk about everything pre-COVID. So pre-COVID in 2018, I came across a beautiful woman, Dr. Angela Kudger, who was starting her academy, Legacy Holistic Health Institute. And the premise behind her institute is exactly what you talked about, is that our people, our community, we're not used to seeing people that look like us in the health and wellness industry when it comes to health coaching. Most people go to, I won't name names, but big box institutions. So what attracted me about Legacy was birthed by a Black woman. Her goal is to put a health coach in every household that looks like you. And so my year of going through the holistic health coaching program with Legacy led me back to the passion of reflexology, because we spent a module on just looking at different modalities that we could add to our practice. And here came reflexology again. I'm a foot person. I love feet. So I love touching soles. And so it was just a natural connection to go back to that thing that I had desired years back. And I love it here.
That's and
I love it here.
and you said the key you said the key thing. It's not a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. People would rather go to a big box, to get all that they can. It's even the same of the industry of coaching.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow after this big name because of that. But then you missing out on the substance of having it more personal. And and this is just one of the things that I have carried over in 2022 is it doesn't matter to me about the big name, because one time it was given to me like, I'm like, I'm doing all I can. I'm trying to get all this information out here, but then people want to go after that big name, and they're missing a little substance who's going to give you much, much more.
Yes. and you know what that more is? That more is community.
Yes.
Community. The Legacy community is one of the best communities I have ever become a part of. So, and it has grown. Like, we were the first cohort. I literally was the first student to say yes to her. Cohort 1, 2018. It is 2022, and she just introduced cohort 32.
Wow.
Cohort 32. So we have health coaches, and everyone, the beautiful thing about it is you pick your niche, you decide what your niche is going to be, but she gives you such a strong foundation through the wellness coaching, and it has been certified on so many different levels, getting contracts, working with the VA and other organizations. So it has really grown, and it's putting people back into the community who look like us, who can serve us. So I will forever, forever be grateful for Legacy, because it changed my life around, as a person who was used to being athletic, used to working out. And then, life happens. We don't have the 20-year-old body that we had. And some people will fight to get back to the exact 20-year-old body. I'm okay with not having my 20-year-old body, but I do want the healthiest body that I can have. I want to be well inside and out. And that looks different for different people. I mean, we were talking earlier about numbers, like, that scale number is one thing, but what's those numbers on the inside? We want to make sure those numbers are well. And so there's different ways for that to happen. And I believe that by building a wellness team for yourself is going to take more than just having your typical doctor or practitioner. You should have your massage therapist, have your reflexologist. There's just, do you go do yoga? Do you go do Tai Chi? Like, there's different aspects of wellness that you can add to your wellness team, and just make sure that, they're giving you the information that you need, and know that there is so many different opportunities to keep yourself well in your latter years.
I love it when you said a team, because even in that team, it's all about accountability.
Yes.
It's all
it comes back to you.
It's all
goes back to you.
Yeah. It all talks about the accountability that you have in this team. And you're so right.
Yes.
Think about you just look, I just got the epiphany as you talking. When you talk about Tai Chi, you talk about some of these things, like, again, in our community, these things are so far fetched off in our community. And I'm glad that you said it, that you want to, that, your start was seeing someone of a brown face, looking like us more into, but, it goes back to history. And and look, I have to give a little lesson on this.
Right.
And I actually didn't notice until I think it was 2018 when that first African American History Museum went up in DC. I
Uh-huh.
actually got there that December, right after it had opened up in that September.
Okay.
And if we look at what we have been taught in our school system, that, you know, the Black Panthers were such a bad group, you know, that's what we were taught, that they were such a bad group, but not necessarily so.
Right.
They were the forerunners of how the WIC program started.
Yes.
They were the forerunners of going overseas, going get to teach acupuncture, which to help with this sickle cell, that really, now that the studies has shown, that thing like blew my mind. And people don't even realize it's stuff that's scratched under the surface of certain things as we talk about in our community. But those gentlemen, they actually went to learn and come back and bring it back to the community. And like for us, this is why I do PMF. A lot of people want to look at me like it's strange when I say electromagnetic. I have the on-demand machine that talks about your frequencies and different things like that. So that's why I was intrigued when I was in your workshop. But to hear more, we're going to hear more from Lakisha. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back because I'm going to show you on some relaxation parties that we have had here at Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul.
And when stars are in light, the weeper, we would know. I've been told that the fire's old. And when stars are in light, the weeper, we would know. As a dreamer of your mind.
Yes, welcome back to Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I am here tonight with my special guest, Miss Lakisha McGaneyOsei. Yeah, and I got it all correct. I am, look,
Right.
I have it right. I have it right. So for those who have just tuned in, we're talking about wellness, not just for the health benefit, but also for your spiritual benefit. So my special guest here, she is an author as well. So Lakisha, you want to talk about one of your books? Because I know there'll be several more to come.
Sure. Actually, yes, I'm a 5-time author. I made my authorship debut back in 2018, first with a collection of my poetry, and then I participate in a few anthologies, 3 anthologies. She as well with Delana Watkins. Here she is well. So I have a chapter in there, and talking about that wellness journey, as well as with Dr. Cheryl Wood with I Am Victor. My Pride and Joy is my first full book on my own, The Great 48. And The Great 48 is basically 48 life lessons on the journey to amazing. And that came to me as I was approaching my 48th birthday. I decided that I wanted to kind of chronologically put into book form some of the great lessons that I've learned from, living life, experiencing life, learning to just not give up is the overall theme. And it definitely, this book is special as well when we talk about wellness, is because the book was delayed after being in a car accident, and I suffered a severe concussion. And so the time that I was trying to finish up this book, I had to really take a long break, which I had not intended, which is what life happens. We have obstacles that come our way that we don't expect. And when it's something like a concussion, is not a overt injury that people can see. But it really did have me down for quite a while. And so I was out of work for 3 months. I was in concussion therapy for 6 months. But I was determined to get this book finished. And so it was kind of therapy for me to finish this book. And writing can do that for you. And so I encourage you to get a copy if you can. It basically, each lesson tells the lesson, kind of what I learned from it, the reflection, and then it gives you what I call the J2A route, or Journey to Amazing route. So it'll give you a challenge to go forth, or something to follow up, a question for yourself to ask yourself, and then you start to delve into your own journey and the lessons that you come from that. So this book is available as well. And then my first poetry book is still on Amazon and available. Let Me Be Naturally a Poetic Journey. So I'm excited about that. And I do have two in the making, another poetry book and a haiku. I've been on a haiku challenge. They just keep pouring out of me. So I'm actually going to do a haiku book that's going to be coming out, as well as two anthologies for 2023 are going to be coming up too.
And when you say haiku, and it's funny that you say that, because I thought about that like 2 years ago.
Okay.
About a haiku, because it's just like your thought process. And you said something key that you just said, that it keeps coming out of you. I feel as though for those of us, and it might be, if this is just something that I'm throwing out, it may be, I don't know, I'm going to ask you this question, but as a creative person, within the past, during the pandemic, did your creative juices like overflow and just spurt out even more?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel as though that's a sign of an overburst of, and it's like you have so much of this energy that you can't contain. And like for me, like here for the past couple months, it's just like been woo, and and you got to be healthy through all of that too. And then it might be something that's out of line. So as us being those holistic natural healers,
right?
In the portion of you using your healing hands and reflexology for that anxiety, can you tell the audience if they're feeling that type of thing, what could reflexology happen to help with them with that?
Well, it can do, there's a few things. So besides even like coming to me for like a full session, my clients primarily do come to me for foot reflexology. So we do an hour session here, but there is hand reflexology as well. So there's things that you can do, and I do that as well for you, but there's some self hand reflexology that you could do. So if you're sitting at home and like you starting to feel anxious, or you have some anxiety coming on to you, you can look at your palms here and kind of right in the center here. If you're familiar with chakras, which I know you are, but if the audience is familiar with chakras, right in the center here, and that's how I start my sessions off, even with the foot reflexology, is to find your solar plexus point. So you go kind of like right above the fatty of your palm, slide over, and if you just simply take your thumb and press into your solar plexus area and just hold that for a few seconds, you will literally begin to feel your body starting to calm down. And it will definitely help, the anxiousness that might be trying to creep up on you. And you do that, hold it for a good, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and breathe. I really am a big component of breathing intentionally. So, while you're doing that, be intentional about every inhale. Hold it for 4, and then release it for 4. and do as many rounds as you can or you need to, sitting at your desk in the office. Go in the bathroom if you don't feel comfortable doing it at your desk, but take that time to just kind of calm and relax yourself and do it in both palms. And then you can start off even before that, just grasping your hands together and just kind of getting yourself to warm up and just allow your arms to just like move, loosen up your wrists and, shake out the energy. Shake out the energy, but definitely do your rotation. So you can do that, and then you can go to that solar plexus and just be calm. So that's a way to just like sit and do it right there, right at your desk. You don't even have to get up. And then, just in general, when you're doing a full session, most of my clients, when they wake up from my section, because it's just so relaxing. I haven't had a client that I haven't put to sleep. They come in and say, oh, no, I don't think I'm going to go to sleep. I'm saying, so I started off, I'm letting you know that you're in a safe space because you're going to fall asleep. And so I just tell them right up front, and they're like, no, I don't think I will. I was like, okay. But it has happened 100% of the time because the body goes into such a relaxed state. Like some people literally, when they do awake from the session, have told me more than one, I have not gone into a deep REM sleep for like months. And some, even one client told me they hadn't done it in 3 years since their husband passed away. They had not been able to truly fall asleep, and they were able to do it on my table. So I just look at it as a blessing to be able to bring that kind of rest and release and rejuvenation to people through reflexology.
And look, listen, I have her website here, I'm gonna, before I say that, but what you guys just experienced was a free.
Yes.
You got a gift. You can look early Christmas present. You have an early Christmas. Yeah, she just gave us a demonstration. But I can tell you, when I went to your workshop that afternoon, I was relaxed. And just how your sweet tone that you just did, just showed the audience just a few minutes ago, that's the same presence that she has in during her workshop. But I'm truthful about it. I'm transparent about it. It really helped. And I noticed I did, because one person did fall asleep during your class. I saw that. But it just amazes me. We can be healers to our bodies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the body heals, and that's a reflexology. I'm literally just a conduit to help facilitate what the body is going to do. It's just that we don't sit still enough to allow it to do it. And so when I'm, for those who really like, what is reflexology? They keep saying this word, because some people think, am I coming for a massage? It's not a massage. So reflexology is more to the family of like an acupuncturist or acupressure. That's what you can compare it to, because reflexology focuses on the reflex points in either your feet, your hands, even your face or ears as well. So there's reflex points that relate back to your body organs and nervous system. And by manipulating and applying pressure to those points, we help facilitate that healing process in your body. And the body, it will go where it needs to go. It will direct it. So some people will say, I've been having this kind of pain, which is fine to let me know. But I'm going to make sure I cover all the reflex points, because just because you're feeling the pain in your lower back, it might be because your shoulder is too tight or out of alignment. So if I only focus on the reflex for your lower back, I'm going to miss the point. I'm going to miss the area that needs to be worked on. So I still cover, all the points during that session so that wherever it may be originating from is also covered in the session.
That is just true. I'm sitting here now like I'm in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in here right now. I'm all for it. I am all for it. But as we said earlier, her, the website, because she is a coach as well. She's an author. She is a speaker. And, it is, I'm going to be giving up her information on where to follow her. But she also has her website that we joy over yonder. Joy is just
Joy
over
is just
yonder.
over yonder.
Yes. Can you explain how you came up with that thing? It's very creative. It is very creative because when you think about joy, because they always have, we always have that scripture that say, weeping may endure for a night, but joy may come in the morning. Now that's perfect morning, but what if in the morning I'm not feeling joy?
Right.
What if the morning I'm not feeling joy? That can be my nighttime. What about my noontime? Different things as well as that. So just explain to the audience the concept of that.
Well, the concept of that was like, as I was, even before, actually the name came up before I started my health coach journey, which is interesting because it came up in a Facebook memory, and I had typed in "joy is just over yonder" and put that, this is going to be a book one day. This is going to lead to a lot of different things. So when I got into the health coach, I was like, joy is just over yonder. That's what I'm going to stick on. And I said, joy is just over yonder. That's that Southern part of me, the yonder part. So that to really tell people that even when people feel like they have to search or look for joy, you really don't have to go too far. Like the yonder is within. Like the joy that you're truly seeking is right there in your midst within you. So you really don't have to go far to look for it. So that's how I came up with the joy is just over yonder. Like if you just take some time to do some own self-reflection and to really look inside, the joy that you're seeking is going to be right there, just over yonder. So I had to add that. I'm a original South Carolina girl, so that's that Southern part of me that even though I traveled, got that chance to travel the world, South Carolina is always home. And so it also reminds me of the South.
Well, I say here is your Facebook and your Instagram if you guys want to follow her. And she actually, look, you can see her sign up in the back. I touch souls. I touch souls. Yes, I touch souls. I like that shirt. Are those going to be available at the event, which we're going to talk about after we
Yes. They are. I'm looking at mass producing because a lot of people they they love the name of the company, and it was just an automatic because I was like, I touch souls, and I do touch souls, so it's a play on both, so SOLES and SOULS, because just the energy that is exchanged and how people feel, I really feel like, I'm touching more than just their feet when they leave here. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very humbled and honored at what I do because I don't take it lightly that people entrust, stepping into my wellness space and allowing me to just do what I need to do while they relax. I've had ministers come here. And so I just don't take it lightly for those who allow the sacred touch to come from my hands and be able to work on them. And so I touch souls, and then, I'm blessed by everyone who comes here. Like it's an exchange, it truly is. And you never know what's going to happen in a session. And I'll be very honest with that because you may think you're coming here for one thing, but you may leave differently. I'm
Right.
telling you, there's releases that happen that come unexpected. I had someone come for a session, and because of whatever was going on, half of the session was just spent crying. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I allowed that time for that to happen and for them to have that release because, that's it. That's what I Touch Souls is. It's for you to have that release, for you to relax, for you to feel rejuvenated when you leave. I think I'm gonna have to end up having some kind of bed and breakfast because people always say, "Do I have to drive right now?"
It's very hard. It's very hard.
Very hard to get up and leave and then have to drive. So that's the only thing I was like, I'm gonna have to, figure out a way where I can have. Eventually, that tells me I need a wellness center so people can just come and stay. But yeah, so you're so relaxed afterwards, where people say, "I don't even want my feet to touch the ground now that you have touched them," and I'm just, just very blessed and thank God for finally obeying Him in using my hands in this healing process. Because I ran away from it the first time somebody told me that after I touched them that they asked me, "Are you a massage therapist?" I said, "No, I always wanted to be," because they said, "You have healing hands." So when they said that, I ran the other way for 10 years. And so I'm finally here.
So, Lakisha, I wanted to share with you when you talk about healing hands. And see, I'm being transparent right now. I run from it. I literally look, I'm getting ready to tear up now. Look.
Yeah.
Excuse me, audience. Excuse me. I actually and she might be looking. It's a lady named Carol. And this is when I was working in a gynecologist's office. And you're right. And I want to say when you talk about ministers and stuff, that's very intriguing because you know how this is considered, this is new age. I was going to talk about that. You get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
It's a stigma because we don't understand things, the yoga, that's of the devil. You open up things but if you think about it, even me with the sound bowls, I brought this up in a show a couple weeks back. When I use it for therapeutic way, because again, I work in addictions. I work with some people with mental health. When I ring that sound, it changes the whole demographics in the room.
Right.
And it helps to heal. So please, people, everybody can have your whatever faith, whoever you go. I know who I am and who's within me. And I know that He's not going to let me harm anybody because I'm a people person. You tell, that's how we connected.
Right.
But I want you, those of you, to have an open mind to some of this stuff because it really literally helps. But you said one thing, I run from it because the experience that I had, and it's not to say it's gonna be happening every time. That's just like everybody in church, and you don't get prophesied every time. It's certain particular areas that this arena it can happen. As I said, Lakisha, I was working in a doctor's office one day when you said a person like that person, to go back to what you said about the woman hadn't slept like in 3 years, had a REM asleep. This particular lady hadn't had 18 hours of sleep. She said, and she was a minister's wife. And she says, I haven't had sleep and I'm supposed to go to this women's retreat and I just can't make it, Michelle. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I mean, she literally was crying. It was like a depressive state.
Yeah.
I just sat back and it wasn't the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna say what it was. The Holy Spirit, because it is what it was, told me to touch her. And I felt the warmness. I felt the warmness and I just stopped. And the crying has stopped immediately. Everything stopped immediately. And the next day she went for the visit. The doctor came in because, you got to be careful what kind of realms you're in, because you don't want the people think you're crazy, or some kind of soothsayer or whatever. So the next day, the secretary says, "Oh, Michelle, so-and-so called and said what you did for her that day. She went home and had the best sleep, and she slept for like all night, and she's ready to go to her thing, and she thanks you for that." And I'm gonna tell you, I had her speak at some of the retreats that I had when you say bed and breakfast, and prove this to people that this can really happen, like that. And I'm scared to do because I get the umption, and I think that's like right now where my energy, because I think that's what I need to be doing. Like right now, I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm scared.
When I ran away from it for 10 years. And it's interesting that you say that, because the lady, it was a church member. We went to visit her in the hospital. She had a surgery. She was in the hospital. They would not release her because she had been waiting for 3 days to pass any kind of air, anything. It was like, we just need you to do something to show us that your bowels are working. And she was in such discomfort, and she was like, no matter what they do, nothing will happen. And I don't even remember if I said it or she said it, but I was like, well, do you mind if I touch your stomach? If I massage your stomach for you? And she was like, please do. And when I tell you, Michelle, as soon as I did it, massage it, and it was like 3 other people in the room. And so that we had all went together to visit her. And when I touched her stomach, massaged it, it was like instant release. And then that's when she said, "Are you a massage therapist?" And I said, "No." And she looked at me, she said, and she grabbed my hand. She said, "You have healing hands. So what are you going to do with that?" And I tell you, from that moment, I was so scared. I was like, I ain't touching nobody else. But I ran for it, because you know what I ran for? I was like, that's a hefty responsibility to even you're being used as a conduit, is like, that's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
I'm not ready for
it. It is.
And so it takes some time to come into your own. And like you said, believe whatever your belief system is. The one thing we learn even through our health coaching, through school and so forth, is to cause no harm.
Right.
And whatever you're doing, to cause no harm. So my intent is good, and so I have no intention to cause any harm in whatever I do and whatever touch I give. So I'm just going to continue to touch souls for as long as he allowed me.
Yes. And you know what? We're going to talk about that, but we're going to take a quick break. But audience, I want you to look down at the screen here. We have a Glory 5 season challenge. As you guys know, on the 28th of November, I have released my Christmas song, which is called Glory 5 Season Challenge. So what's going to happen is, from now on up to Christmas, I will be seeking folks to use what I'm going to play through on our commercial, the Glory 5 Season Challenge, because again, like me and Lakisha said, we're in a spirit of hope, changing things. A lot of people are in a lot of despair. Their focus is on material stuff. But through this song, I just want families to really connect and just really, really understand what is the true meaning of this holiday, this Christmas holiday that we have. It's okay to give the gifts, but really receive from the real biggest gift. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back. But I want you guys to listen to this song, because this is the Glory 5 Season Challenge. Welcome
Beautiful.
back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond, and I'm here with my special guest, Lakisha. Yes, that is the glorified season challenge that I am looking for you guys to load it up, because I think this is what the real, truly reason of the season is, and I think it's just a time for it, because a lot of, just think about it, it's a lot of people don't have to give, and just give them that special touch of hope through that message. So again, but I have some, we almost to the end, Lakeisha. I'm so relaxed now.
I'm
I am so relaxed
in.
now. I am so relaxed now. And what I like to say is that we, as what's next, because we have a couple of things that, when I met you, I was telling you about what I do, and it's about, and we like-minded spirit, like-minded individuals, and that's what is so important in these days and times, that you connect up. And I'm all about helping anybody that I can help, anybody that I can help.
Absolutely.
And what I love about it is that you have something that's coming up, and I want you to share with the audience what it is.
Absolutely. Well, what is next up for us is our big summit experience. I don't like to call it event, but it's an experience. We create experiences along with everything else. What I think kind of sums me up is that I'm a wellness collaborator. I love creating and curating experiences and bringing other wellness gurus in who have the same kind of vision or mission, even though we're doing different aspects of it, but just believing, helping people heal holistically and be well. And so, what I have curated, which kicked off in 2019, it was my first event experience after graduating from Legacy, was the Wrapped in Wellness Days. And so our first one was Wrapped in Wellness, Embrace the Queen Within. It was a one-day event. And then we moved through to 2020. Of course, COVID hit. And so what we did was just decided that we weren't going to just not have it. We just calibrated and decided to go with a virtual summit. And so with that, we were able to make it a 3-day virtual summit last January for 2021. So that was wrapped in wellness, meet us at the well. And so it was funny when earlier you said something about overflow, and I said that's where we are, in the overflow.
Yes.
So of course, Wrapped in Wellness 3.0 will be January 20th through the 22nd, in the focus, because the word for 21 was overflow, and we have continued that on, and Miss Michelle is one of our guest speakers, so we are so excited to have her on board, along with some of our other amazing speakers, but she's going to be doing a session on affirmations for us. We have beautiful Miss Jennifer Ferguson, who will be doing healing through storytelling. I mean, it is just going to be an amazing event. We have Miss Deanna Boyd, who is phenomenal, who has gone through Ayana Vassant's training, and she's going to be doing 2 sessions, one Friday and one Saturday, on who has your energy and then how to reclaim your energy. So when I tell you it is going to be phenomenal, you want to go ahead and get your tickets. This is the main Eventbrite. If you are a friend of Michelle's, use her personal link as well, that I'm sure she'll be posting on her page. It'll get you to the same place, but support her by using her personal link. And then you can also use this to just get tickets for the weekend. You can do the whole weekend. You can do Friday and Saturday, but we will be closing out on Sunday. And if you only can make it Sunday, which will be the brunch edition, you can come out then, and you'll be blessed with Dr. Vicki Johnson of Soul Well, who will be helping us close out. So this is an opportunity. When I say the Wrapped in Wellness, we hitting all the wells. Move well, eat well, mind well or your mental well, love well. We're going to be talking about some love too, because, we have a lot of things that get stored up when we don't love well. So we are here to help pour into you. And especially if you are someone in the energy healing and you're doing the work, this is the time for you to step away and be poured into as well. So we just invite you to come out. It's going to be held in Alexandria, Virginia at the Hampton Inn. We're conveniently located 15 minutes from Reagan Airport, 7 minutes from the National Harbor, MGM. So it's right there in the intersection of DC, Virginia, and Maryland. So the location is perfect for you to drive up, fly up, whatever you need to do. But you need to find yourself in the place so that we can get well together.
So I'm gonna tell you, you don't want to miss this. So I will tell you, bring a friend, bring a friend, bring a friend.
Yes.
This is going to be a weekend for me because first of all, you going into 2023.
Yes.
Hopefully God will make you see over. But if he makes you to see over, it's so healing in the place that's going to take place. But then I am honored to say that even for my Warm Your Heart, Warm Your Mind, and Warm Your Soul retreat, Lakisha is going to be one of the products who will be there to offer her services. Yes. So that is another place. So I'm bringing her to the shore.
Yes.
I'm bringing her to this lovely Eastern Shore. So Eastern Shore folks, let's welcome her and let's support. Even if you want to just step down, because I do have day passes for the retreat as well. You don't have to stay the whole retreat. I understand, but she will be there for the retreat as one of our presenters and offering her services for that. So I'm happy. Thank you so much for coming to that too as well. And I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to touch some more souls up in the Eastern Shore. So so you will be able to book a full session with me while they're at the retreat. And then we'll be doing some hands as well.
Yes. So those are some things that's kicking and popping off on this end. But with this wellness, it is, and you got it as a 2.0. The swing on the 2.0.
For Wrapped in Wellness, 3.0. Yeah.
3.0.
This is our third year.
Yeah.
This is our third year. So it's Wrapped in Wellness 3.0. And it gets amazing each time. Like this started off with, just wanting to fill a room of about 25 women in a room for one day. And it turned into 50 women with an intimate experience for that full day, and then to a 3-day virtual summit of over 150 people joining in virtually throughout that weekend. So we're not trying to do 150 people in the room. We still want it to be nice and intimate, but we're in a bigger space, same hotel as the very first one, but the bigger ballroom area. And we have a special treat that I'll be able to announce later on, even for that Saturday evening. So I'm looking forward to all that is going to happen and take place. Like Michelle said, you don't want to wait right now. I think I'll update right now. You probably can still get the early bird ticket, but that's going to go away. So go ahead and get that ticket, this week. But believe me, the value that you're getting is going to far succeed whatever you invest in yourself, because it's an investment into yourself.
Right.
It truly is.
It's right. And we had a discussion a little bit earlier about that. I don't know about you, Lakisha, but I'm just throwing this out in the atmosphere. I'm all about affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what one of the affirmations for that day. So you're getting it early. They're getting it exclusive. They're getting it exclusive. In 2023, I'm gonna know my worth.
Say it again for the people in the back.
In 2023, I am going to know my worth.
Yes.
No more selling myself short. So you got the exclusive. So that's enough for you to come right there.
Right there. Y'all should be running around the room. We've been running around the room. I'm telling you, these past few weeks, it has really shown and that's why I'm so adamant about people finding themselves there in January, because 2023 is going to be like no other. And there is a lot that you need to prepare yourself for mentally, to be prepared for what's all to come.
Right.
I think there's going to be so many of us experiencing our suddenlies in 2023. So you want to be ready to receive it. So you got to clear some stuff out so that, releasing and reclaiming your energy, getting loaded up on your affirmations, learning how to use sound for healing, meditation for healing, knowing how to just take your time back and be intentional about your breathing, and being able to seek out a master reflexologist. These are things that are going to be with you for life, that you'll be able to use and help. So I'm excited.
Yes, again. So Lakisha, I always tell my guests, every time when someone comes to this platform, I always tell my guests to leave out a word of inspiration. If it can't be one word, you can use out the words before we close out tonight.
One word.
Well, it could be several. I always say one word, whatever your heart is led to say.
Okay.
And whatever your heart is led to say.
Okay. I'll say I'm gonna stick with what is right on the tip of my tongue. The overflow is here. The overflow is here. So you choose to stay afloat in it, or you can drown in it. And when you feel that drowning, again, know where you can seek help and have your team in place. The overflow is here.
The overflow is here. Look, they done got some more exclusives. Look, we've given a lot.
Yeah.
So that should make you want to go right now and go and purchase your tickets. Here it is again.
That's my session that I'm gonna be doing in January.
The
overflow is here.
All right. See, you got it. You got you getting a whole lot of exclusive stuff. Whole lot of information here. So I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it at all. See? Overflow is here.
There you go. Say it with us. I want you to put that on your status. You don't have to explain it to anybody. No caption needed. Just put the overflow is here.
Yeah, the overflow is here. Well, Lakisha, I want to say thank you so much for taking your time. And I always tell everybody, when you telling me yes, it's not just to me per se, but you telling it to God, because God ordains everything that he does in my life. The good, the bad, it's always a lesson in something that he gives me.
Yes, there is.
And I am so glad that our paths have connected. I don't count it robbery that we have connected, and we're connected for a reason. So I appreciate you, and thank you, my sister, for coming on this tonight and sharing your gift. Look, they done got affirmations. They done even got points on how to cure that anxiety, to help with that anxiety, not cure, but to help with the causes of it. Yeah, I had to put that disclaimer. I had to put that disclaimer. Exactly. But you look, folks. You want to be to this retreat. You want to be to my retreat that's coming up in March. Because again, upfront mind, body, and soul. So we want to see you in the place. Now, audience, I always leave my show with my mantra, just to let you know, to say, You are loved here at Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, because so many people somebody out there who may be watching may not feel that you're loved, but just know that this little southern little country girl here loves you here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Until next week, we will see you on this show, hoping that you're going to have yourself a blessed week and go in your purpose. And also be reminded that the overflow is here.